Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome back or welcome to The Hawk and My name is Lana Zelinsky, and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, in all my videos or all my live feeds, simply take what resonates, and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. Happy Friday. What a week this has been, both energetically and the spirit dimensions and the physical world. We talked on Wednesday a little bit about balance and the importance of what's in and what's out of balance. Good morning, Wes. Come on in, everyone. We also talked about that self discovery and stepping into a new space, and that change is not always comfortable. We also talked this week about intuitive growth. And the energy today feels very, very different. I'm not sure how many of you are feeling, but there seems to be this some new sensations, some new feelings, some new awareness that's coming in. Good morning, everyone. I'll give you all a moment to come on in here before I get chit chatting about what I'm feeling today and what spirit had to talk about. Good morning. Hello. Is the cool weather finally making its way to you yet? A little bit cooler here this morning, yes, and it felt great to open up those windows and let in some of that cooler air. Still a little bit humid here, so the hair will remain in braids until that moisture and that humidity settles down a little bit. It's good to see you. Come on in, everyone. So, balance. I'm just curious to know if many of you have felt that awareness of balance, what's in and what's out, because over the next couple of days, over the weekend, we are going to be bouncing around a little bit. And one thing that's going to be bouncing around a little bit is overburdening ourselves without setting boundaries. If you are feeling like you're pecked a little bit, like I just felt like this, and I know it's going to sound really weird, but I felt like I was being pecked when I was doing my meditation and my channeling this morning. It's like peck, 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 peck. It's like there's a challenge with this whole balance piece that we talked a bit about on Wednesday. That's going to come in over the next couple days. So it may come in for you as that feeling of being pecked. People are at you. People are, or perhaps you're at yourself. Perhaps you're pecking at yourself about what's not right, about what there's still left to learn. There's just this pecking feeling, and I say that with a little bit of humor because you got to bring that in. You got to bring in that humor, and it's going to be important for many of us. So don't overburden yourself, is what Spirit said. Watching out for that overwhelm, watching out for that out of that tipsy turvy, tipsy tur. Can't even speak this morning, but just watching out for that feeling of tipsy. And what it is as we work on putting things in the balance, we do feel this challenge a little bit with boundaries. And it's perfectly okay to say, sorry, can't do that, or I just need some time to kind of regroup and prioritize. I just can't do that right now. That's going to come up for many of us over the next couple days. It's not going to be heavy, but it is going to come in a little bit, and it may come in at you from people that are around you in your household, in friends, and their intention may not be to add the more overwhelms. But as we come into this whole balance space, and I think it's going to be a theme for a little bit with working on the balance space, because we are being called forward, and we are all shifting into this new growth space. So quite often what we were able to manage before, as we're working on putting things more into balance, there are some things that we may struggle to kind of navigate through. And you may feel a little bit more tired, you may feel a little bit that space of, oh, I don't know if I can push through. Just watch the balance of needing a little more sleep, or needing to put your feet up, or just needing to put on some music and dance. It's going to be kind of put out there for us this weekend. What can you do to manage that? Spend a little bit more time with that, reconnecting to yourself. We are going through some pretty big shifts. I talked about how this time of year is feeling like New Year's for me. These new things are coming up, and these new ways of doing things are coming up, and these new thoughts and this new alignment is coming up. As we kind of navigate through that, we also have this awareness about what else is going on, and that pecking feeling of just being pecked at. So, and sometimes, let's be brutally honest here, sometimes we are pecking at ourselves, right? You're not doing that fast enough, you're not doing that good enough, you're not doing that, you're not pleasing people or whatever that it is, don't be surprised if you feel that struggle a little bit. The other thing that has popped up for me in this morning with spirit is this whole piece of resistance that the ego can sometimes lean into. Parts of our ego struggle with change, and sometimes it comes through as a threatened feeling, and it can come through as these changes are coming at us too fast. Just give yourself some time for that inner peace, that inner reflection, that old identity that is falling back from you, because we are all working through our own spiritual growth and new versions of ourselves. And when you think about, when I reflect back on that blue moon that we had, we did a lot of releasing, and we did a lot of processing, and we did a lot of breaking down of what no longer serves us. So we are in this space of saying, you know what, I'm learning and I'm processing and I'm going in a new direction, and I don't understand it all yet, but it's okay that I'm learning that. It might just peak for you over the weekend, so just kind of remember that I said it, and just kind of remember, the advice that spirit gave us is, it's okay to slow it down, it's okay to take that time, it's okay to say I cannot do that. It's some things can wait, we don't have to do it all at once. That's going to be the energy flowing around this weekend. So embrace it and give yourself that space. And, give yourself that boundary of saying, I just need some time. When you think about all the things that we try to rush through, whether it be, the laundry or the housework or the yard work, whatever it is, you may need some pauses, even from the simple things. You may just feel that I just can't right now. I just can't right now. So, honor that if that comes up for you this weekend. It'll be really, really important as our next shift and the rest of our learning unfolds itself. And I think, sometimes, Spirit has said this to me many times over the years is, why are you trying to go so fast? Why are you trying to go so fast? Like, what's this all about of busyness, of layer after layer after layer after layer of stuff, right? That you feel that you need to do. Sometimes we just have to say, oh well, it is what it is. I can let this go for a little bit, even for a little bit longer, whether it just be something as simple as the dishes. We rush to get up, and clear a table after a meal right away, or we're rushing to get out the door. Spirit has often pulled the reins back on me with, just slow that down, just slow that down, take an extra minute. Right. So practice that over the weekend if it comes up for you. And listen to what you need. Listen to what you need was huge this morning. So let's see how that unravels for us over the weekend. Let's see where we are here. Oh, some cooler weather in Illinois. Um, Lana, you're looking so cute. Thanks. And I think that's one thing that we kind of, I'm just gonna touch base on that is, you can feel that cuteness too. Feel that within yourself, giving that yourself a space to try something different. It can be as simple as changing a hairstyle, or leaning into a different kind of energy. Um, Let's see where we go here. People are at me the most in my household. Finding the balance will be extra challenging because we're all neurodivergent. So, giving yourself that space, Aaron, and giving other people is sometimes that space. And sometimes other people often need that loving reminder from us as well as, why don't you go have go sit and count the stars, or go sit and watch the clouds go by. So making it fun, depending on where everybody is on their own growth in the household, just kind of making fun of making some fun with very simple things. I think it's really fun to sit and try and find shapes in the clouds. I often go out and do that with my family. Is, let's go see what kind of shapes we can see. And it's really interesting. You can also see how people view things differently as well, right? So it's very, very interesting. Dee Dee, last night I was so tired, so I went to the kitchen, had chocolate, then ice cream, and then I realized what I did. Next time I will just go to bed, no judgment, just info. And sometimes I'll lean into that, and I love how you said that, no judgment. And you handled that beautifully, energetically with yourself. And let's be honest, sometimes we just need a piece of chocolate, right? So it's but that's beautifully said. On point, my dad gave me a talk about life, and I know he means well, but I feel too feel too much for me. So Maruna, and you said that I love how you guys are all wording these things. He meant well. One of those things is we can hear other people's perspective without necessarily picking up or absorbing it all. Perhaps there's just a word or two that you needed to hear, or perhaps he's looking at an opportunity to connect with you. And sometimes we just have to stay in that space as he's doing his best to try and connect with me, and just processing it that way. And I think you did a beautiful job with that. Diane Quinn, definitely something I need to work on. Bianca, are there any messages from my spirit guides? I felt a new one around me when I sleep. I feel when I lean into that energy there, Bianca, is I feel like there's a level up of trust. Trust is something that we're always working on. I mean, it's always growing. We're always kind of navigating through that. But I feel like there's this newness in a glorious challenge for you. And when I say challenge, I mean like it's like this new connection or this new way of working. And sometimes we kind of lean into, I've always done it this way. I feel, Bianca, there that this energy that you're feeling, this newness that you're feeling, is taking you into this new space of trust, this new way of trusting, or the next level of trusting. I had a conversation with one of my mentoring students yesterday, about this topic of trust, and about how we kind of navigate through that at different spaces and different phases, and the need for validation of being able to trust something, especially when it comes to spirit, because we don't always see it or get all the answers all at once. And the more that my student recognized that her trust levels were shifting and changing in a glorious ways, she was able to tap to a different way of navigating through her own spiritual growth. So I feel that that's kind of where you're going into there, Bianca, is this new way of trusting. I love the shirt you wear. Lots of beautiful style. I've been getting blouses that look like that. Lovely. Bianca, I've been really working on with when it comes to like stuff like clothes and stuff. I've been really working on what I already have. I've been leaning more and more and more into the minimalism, and I have been pulling out things that I haven't worn in quite some time, and just kind of bringing back leaning into what's already there. But thank you very much for the compliment. That's beautiful. Ha, don't trigger my perfection side of me with the poking. Love the vibration of humor there with yourself. I think that's amazing. Sometimes we do lean a little too hard on the of perfection, and working on the whole allowing space is often, a very interesting space to work through. Um, my sweet husband said I went from a caterpillar to a beautiful butterfly. Ooh, I love that. I love that. He said he has enjoyed watching me transform. That's delicious. And I think it's wonderful to have that supporting cheerleader as you navigate through this growth. And I'm also very proud of you there, Dee Dee. Growth and transformation is it comes with such beauty, but it also comes with a struggle sometimes. So good for you to be able to lean into that. Um, I'm learning to embrace my mistakes. Bi- Beautiful, delicious. Our the lessons that we learn, if from tripping and falling, always bring us into this, to a glorious space. At some point, even with a scraped knee from the learning, I often say that the spirit, well, that hurt, but but the learning behind it, and the space that I got to, and the momentum that's given to me, even when I don't understand it. So good for you for leaning into that, embracing the learning. It's tough here. We say that all the time. It's tough here in the physical world, and the learning sometimes brings us new perspectives and exactly where we need to go, right? Exactly where we need to go. Um, it's not making mistakes. It's not making mistakes is a PSD trigger for me, but I've been working real hard on it, and I'm seeing improvement already. I love that. Cheyenne? I love that. I love all of you for embracing your learning and your growing. I love all of you for trusting, even when we don't understand. Well done. Well done. And thanks for sharing that with the group. Thanks for sharing your experiences and your journey. It helps in so many ways that we don't even realize how, one word, one sentence helps somebody on here with pushing through their own learning, and their own struggles and their own triggers. A lot of energy. Oh, sorry, Jolene. There is a lot of energy of all sorts the past few months. It has been a really mixed bag. And it has been, I have felt it, like I said before, like that roller coaster ride, like the waves coming in and out, like, like calm, and then there's the storm energy. And I think a big part of all that is we are in a like a fast track of learning, and I'm going to be really interested to see what future channeling is going to be about, especially leaning into the next calendar year. Maruna, my neck became sensitive, and I know it's not medical. I feel like energy might be stuck there. So one thing that you can do, Maruna, is if you feel that you've got an energy that's stuck, is giving yourself some time in meditation, or some time to soften, some time to let go, even if you're not quite sure what you're letting go. And that's something that I'll often, navigate through with spirit, is I don't know what I'm holding on to, but man, I'm holding it in my physical body. So I bring my awareness to that space, and I just acknowledge it, and I soften. So I would soften my shoulders, and giving permission of whatever I'm holding there to find its way out. Um, I'm loving all the sharing that you guys are all doing here. My therapist told me all this yesterday. Oh wow. That's very that's when we hear things from more than one source, whether it be a therapist or a friend, or on a YouTube channel, and the message is very similar. It's very validating. It's very validating that you're receiving the same thing. And when I start to hear things more than once or twice, I really listen up, because there's messages in there that either I need to pay closer attention to, or that I need to take a deeper look at. So that's wonderful. Um, Cheyenne, your poems on YouTube were amazing, and I have gone back and read them a few times. Sometimes when it's just glorious to go back and have another read and to sit in that energy. Again, you did an amazing job, and I'm so proud of you for sharing that and taking that leap of faith. Peyton, I feel like I'm in transition right now. I'm wondering if there are any messages I'm not hearing from Spirit at this time. Peyton, I don't feel that you're not hearing them. I feel like I have to come into the space of taking your time to process them, to giving yourself that time. Transition can feel very uncertain. It's like I don't even know what I'm doing. That's that quite often that's how it feels. Because there's a new version of you. There's healing going on. There's all this energy that you're now aware of. You're transitioning into a space that's very unknown. And I feel like I've got to lean into take your time with it. It kind of gets pulled back into what the message was earlier, with just giving yourself those that boundaries to slow down, to give yourself more moments of quiet, or give yourself more moments of peacefulness, and whatever resonates with you, and allow that transformation to take its time moving through. And because sometimes we, and I've been guilty of this over the years, is we get so excited about our growth, and then we try to speed it up. We try to speed up that transformation. We try to get to that. I often feel like I've got like a gate across my chest, like a racehorse, and I want to race through it to get to the next step. And sometimes it's just about slowing it down and allowing and processing and spending some time in that transformation space, right? So that is beautiful there, Peyton. Um, the one under the blue moon community post I sent, I think it will help you with that problem. Okay, here. I feel like a bundle of fire and stress. Okay, Jolene, as you're processing life stuff, fire and stress, we often need to just, again, with the slow it down space, even if it's for 30 seconds, I feel like if you can give yourself that space. Sometimes we are learning hard stuff. And sometimes, and I get it, we don't want to learn hard stuff and we want to push through it. But sometimes we need to just take that step back and take that moment to give ourselves that healing energy, that slow down energy. We're not going to fix everything at once, and we're not going to navigate through it always at warp speed. We always seem to be pushing through this warp speed momentum. Let's hurry up and get that over with. And I get it. Like, I truly get it. The hard stuff is hard to sit in, but when we try to push through at warp speed, that's when the repeat lessons often come up, because we didn't see, or we tried to push through it because it was tough. And sometimes we need to slow that down, even the hard stuff. I got to slow this down and try, and work through it and heal as I go. You're doing a very good job, by the way, Jolene, of managing the stress and fire. I really felt that that needed to be kind of given to you, as you're doing a really good job with where you're standing. And going forward from where you're standing is the space that you are going to navigate through. Uh, Shelby, good morning. Any messages from Spirit for me today? I'm really pulled to, let's grab the animal communication book there for you, Shelby. So let's just ask what you need to know. I've landed on the eagle. This is a beautiful message from the eagle. There is an opportunity for you that you're considering, and it would be best if you take advantage of it soon. There will be a new beginning in a positive direction following a recent period of strife, one in which you've gained a great deal of stamina and resilience. Detach and rise above the mundane so that you're able to see your life and circumstances with broader perspective and greater vision. So, and one thing that all of you know, just based on my business name, the Hawk and I, and the reason that I work with the red-tailed hawk is the hawk brings me up when I'm looking in order to see into the spirit dimensions. But the hawk also brings me up to give me that broader perspective. So if you're struggling to see something or understand something, literally visualize yourself as the eagle with that higher perspective to fly above it, to look down. It's time for greater spiritual awakening, one where you experience a greater connection to the divine. This is an important time to communicate with the divine for creative inspiration, so heed any guidance you receive. Whatever you put out, positive or negative, will return to you in some form more quickly than ever. So the bald eagle, because it also falls under the eagle message, you have an increasing ability to walk between the material world and that of spirit. Dive into your inner depths, paying close attention to any visions, inspirations that arrive. A beautiful message. I hope that you find that helpful there. That's a great reminder, Lana. They're pretty responsive to those simple things in my house. Great. I love that. Um, Horizon Phoenix, it normal to have a dream full of details where someone passes. I had this for the first time, happened 2 months before my birth mom passed on the 22nd. Absolutely. So, when it comes to dreams, dreams that have that kind of message or that kind of feeling to it, quite often it's a preparing. Now, with dreams, they can have more than one meaning, right? So not every death dream means somebody is somebody that's going to pass. But I feel like when I read that, I feel like you knew, Horizon Phoenix, that this was definitely to prepare you. And sometimes it's to prepare us to, is there anything that needs to be said? Is there anything that I need to let go? Or is there anything that that person needs to say to me? Is there anything that perhaps may have been unresolved, or things, or you needed to be more present or be more aware? And I really feel that you knew that. I felt like you knew that this dream meant that, if that makes sense. And so, because sometimes dreams can have a totally different other meaning when it comes to interpreting dreams. But I really feel pushed, and I need to say it again. I felt like you knew that. I just felt like you felt that connection that spirit was giving you, that heads up. Does that make sense to you? Nisa, lately my family has been at odds processing my dad's sickness. Any advice to connect us in a more positive way? um Yes, I'm just leaning in there for a second. One thing that spirit keeps doing as I'm reading that, I got kind of distracted while I listened there for a moment, is this is everybody's journey, but it's also your dad's. So, and I think when I lean in there with dad's energy is, yes, I know he's aware that he's ill, but he's also very aware that he's here right now. And as you navigate through sickness and in the journey with that, I feel like spirit saying, okay, yeah, there's an illness there, but there's also right now. So, and I think I just kind of have to go back into the power of now and what you can all do now, what you can enjoy now, what is he able to do now? Where I feel like it's I have to spirit keeps I keep trying to go back into what's coming down the road, and spirit keeps going, no, 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 no. Right now he's here. And right now, you have to lean into what you can enjoy and what you can work on and how you can connect as a family right now. Um, and with odds of with the word um at odds of processing, everybody is going to process this differently. Everybody has their own unique relationship with that, and everybody's going to process it differently. And just holding the space to giving people that, okay, you're processing, I'm processing, and everybody has a very different connection with the processing because everybody has their own unique relationship with him, if that makes sense. He may be, the dad to everybody, or he may have very similarities in how you connect with him. But I feel like I've got to give everybody that feeling of you're going to process your way and I'm going to process my way. And together we're in this. And right now we're going to do our best to enjoy our time. And when you think about it, and I'm going to say this really lovingly, for all of us, that's all we have anyway. Right? We only have like there's no guarantees. I mean, we could all be leaving by alien spaceship tomorrow. And to like realistically, yes, we plan for the future and we have hopes and we have dreams, but all that magic is here now. It's all about the now. And spirit tells me that all the time. You know, I take everything that I do with spirit and I'll be like, oh, well, let's talk about 6 months from now, in spirit. But no, 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 no. We're here right now. This is where you need to work now. This is how you need to work now. So I will leave that there for you, Miss Nisa. And I am sending you so much love and light as you navigate through some struggles. And I know it's hard to stay in that present moment. It takes a lot of practice. I also got a question about my doggo. I think she's been trying to communicate with me, but I'm not picking up on her. Is there anything you feel on that? Cheyenne. So this is actually quite cool. Um, you have been doing a lot of spiritual growth. You have been doing a lot of leaning into different energies. You have been leaning into, to spirit guides, and you've been working on yourself, and you've been working on releasing and moving forward. And what happens, Cheyenne, and this is a great thing, is as we open up to hear things, as we open up our heart space, as we open up to energy, we also become aware at a higher level of other frequencies, and animals is one of them. So I don't feel like she's trying she's trying to communicate something off or profound. I feel like you're aware of her communication. You're aware of where she communicates vibrationally because you've been lifting up your vibration. So now you're aware of, oh my gosh, I can hear. I think she's trying to tell me something. When I first started doing animal communication, I'll tell you right now, I wasn't even seeking it. I was literally with a friend at a farm for a completely different reason. It was just a pleasure visit. And I was like, oh my goodness, I can hear a horse literally. And I was like, this is new. And and that's how I learned animal communication. Once I was able to tap into that frequency, it was like a whole new world of chit chat going on. I feel like she's communicating with you like in regular conversations. So, keep kind of working at that. Keep kind of feeling that energy. I also feel a lot of love here. I think the biggest thing is you are so loved by me. Right. I really think she's trying to communicate that. But I think you're hearing her. I think she's always communicated with you and now you're hearing it. And not an unusual thing to happen. As we open up and as we hear different vibrations, we do start to hear animals, and we do start to hear other people's energy. We do start to have this deeper knowing, our intuition. You've been working on all this, Cheyenne. So next step is going to be hearing new things and having a deeper awareness, connecting very differently. Fascinating, isn't it? I find that fascinating. I love it. Aaron, if I'm not good at hearing my guides during meditation, do they feel it's enough for me? to keep talking to them in my mind. 200%. So our spirit guides, we can communicate with them in many, 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 many different ways. Meditation is just one of them. Our thoughts and our chit chat in our mind is enough for them as well. So I simply, quite often, if I don't have time to literally sit and channel, I'll say, "All right, you guys, I open my vehicle door. Everybody hop in." And we'll chit chat while I'm driving, right? And it can be something as simple as, thank you very much for the protection today. Or I'll just talk to them about what I'm feeling or what I'm going through. I always stay very open and very aware. But yeah, 100%. This is your relationship with your spirit guides. It's going to be very different than my relationship with my spirit guides, and how you work and communicate with them can change. Just allow it to be very fluid. Right, meditation, for some people, it may not be the space that they connect in. Right, I've got students that go for a walk in the forest and sit with a tree and talk. So whatever works for you and however you want to connect, you need to do that. Right. And I think I just want to touch base a little bit more on that. Is the spiritual community can be very rigid. Oh, you must do this, you must do this. This is how you communicate. No, it's how you want to work with them. It's how you want to connect with them. Beautiful. Um, Bianca. Yes, trust is hard for me. I'm working on it. You said that beautifully. And you know what, Bianca, the fact that trust is hard for you, and this is what's come up with, is that they're taking you to the next level of trust. I think that you have done some work on your trust level. Here we go. Diane, lately I keep getting the sense that someone is always behind me. Any messages for me on that? Thank you, Diane. Okay, so Diane, um, I feel very much that it's spirit guides. I feel like you're picking up and feeling them more. And I feel like the biggest message here is you're not walking alone. So have you been struggling a little bit with, is there am I alone? I feel alone. Are they here? That presence is coming in to give you that awareness of you're not walking alone. We got you back. We got you back. We're behind you. We're walking with you. I feel it's that next step for you as well, is that increase in the awareness. I hope that that resonates there with you on that. Hmm. Wesley, I remember you wearing those colorful floral blankets. Yeah, the colorful floral blankets will be back when the crisp winter air returns. Okay, a few more, and then I do have to work today. I have to work in Cambridge. Um, Speaking of the clothes Lana wears, they remind me of my mom. She has the same style. Bless. Thank you, Lana. That's why I indeed share them. I've said that my mom often, that the fact that I survived, all I did can help someone else who is in the same place. It can give them the kick they need. That is beautiful. We all have the ability to be teachers and support systems, and to be able to help people through our own experiences. And when you think about our own experiences, it brings us to a higher awareness of empathy, that other people have had their struggles, whether they be similar or completely different than ours. And it gives us that soft space in our heart with life is hard sometimes because we've had our own personal struggles. 100%. Um, Peyton, that really does resonate. I appreciate you. Definitely need to slow down and spend some time in the transformation space. Absolutely, Peyton. There's deliciousness there. There is deliciousness there. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. Ferris Bueller. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Jolene Quinn, Lana, your advice sounds exact, and I'm always in overdrive. There you go. There you go. So that overdrive feeling there that you've just talked about, I really feel you need to, listen up and just kind of slow it down over the weekend and give yourself that space. I think next what I'm going to do before I let you all go is I think I'm going to do a collective message with the angel book number as well as the spirit animal book for all of us as a collective. And if you're enjoying the segment this morning, big thumbs up. So what do we need to know? Let's just and that can be as simple as it is what do I need? That's how you ask. What do I need to know? Right? Um, elephant. Make it a point Make it a point to be of service in some way to the young, elderly, or those less fortunate than yourself. We just talked about that with sharing and being there to help people. Isn't that fascinating? Do not let anything stand in the way of attaining this goal that is so important to your purpose. You have the determination and persistence required to overcome the current challenges that you're faced with. So that is you have the determination and persistence required to overcome current challenges that you are faced with. Love it. Trust your senses, and if something in your life smells bad, take the necessary action to do away with it. Remain loyal to those closest to you in spite of anyone questioning their integrity. It is a good time to renew your sense of connectiveness to the divine. And the word divine, whatever that means for you, spirit dimensions, spirit guides, whatever the word divine means to you. I love that. It is a good time to renew your sense of connectiveness to the divine. And being able to slow down and give ourselves that time and space. So again, it all ties into the energy update today. Wow, that was pretty cool. Um, angel number. What do we need to know as a collective? The ascended masters are applauding the path you're on. The more you trust the validity of your intuitive guidance upon this path, the better everything goes. Angel number 327. I'll read that again. So the ascended masters, again, whatever you connect that to, angels and guides, Buddha, God, nature spirits, whatever that word means to you. The ascended masters are applauding the path you're on. The more you trust the validity of your intuitive guidance upon this path, the better everything goes. I'm glad I did that this morning. I'm glad I went to the angel book. That was pretty awesome. Trust is a big thing. Trust is a really big thing. Cheyenne, I needed to hear that. Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, there's some pretty cool messages this morning out of the books and out of the numbers. They're always pretty cool. Every time I open up those books and read, I get this excitement every single time. There's just this excitement, right? And I love the collective message. And as always, whatever part of that resonates with you, take that. Whatever doesn't resonate with you, leave it. Right? It's always a good thing. 327 is my birthday. Wow. Very cool. Those were spot on. I agree. I agree. I love how my spirit guide started laughing before you started reading. They do have humor, Our spirit guide, like they do have humor. That's one thing I will give. I will always give that. Tin, hi Lana in chat. I'm in the London subway right now. I'm sad to miss this live stream. I wish I could join and hang out too, but I hope you're all well. We love you too, Tin. And safe travels. Funny that you bring that up, Sid. I'm not sure if I was aware that you're in London. If I was, I forgot. But you know what was on my mind yesterday? Um, I was looking at Arthur Finley in the UK. It's a spiritual college, and I was looking to see if any of their workshops resonated with me. If I was feeling pulled, if I need to go back there next year. So that's interesting. I am wishing you and a weekend filled with love, light, blessings. And as always, you guys have a spirit guided day, and I'll be back soon. Much love.